So if I have two functions being multiplied together, f of x times g of x, remember the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. Now let's also review taking the derivative of an exponential function. So remember, the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. However, notice the exponent of the e there is not just x, it's 1 over x. So we have to take the derivative with respect to x of eu, which is going to be eu times u prime, or eu times du dx. Like that. All right, so let's see what this looks like. G prime of x is going to be the first, which is x, times the derivative of the second. Now the second is e to the 1 over x power. And so the derivative of that is going to be e to the 1 over x power times the derivative of 1 over x. And so that is going to be negative 1 over x squared. There's a couple of ways you can remember to do this derivative. One is to use your quotient rule. So if you do that, you got low d high, so low times the derivative of the high minus high d low over low squared. And notice that's going to be negative 1 over x squared. Or you could take the 1 over x, bring the x up, make it have a negative 1 exponent, and then use your power rule. So either way is fine. Plus the second, which is e to the 1 over x power, times the derivative of the first, which is just the derivative of x is 1. So that's what we have right now. We can clean it up just a little bit because it does say simplify your answer. So let's simplify. So we have an x in the numerator here, x squared in our denominator there. And so one of those x's can be reduced. And so that term will end up being negative e to the 1 over x power over x plus e to the 1 over x power over 1 if you want to do that. Clean it up just a little bit more. We could factor out an e to the 1 over x power and make it look a little nicer that way. Then what we'd have is e to the 1 over x power being factored out. And then this term, if I factor out that e to the 1 over x power, I'll have negative 1 over x. And then if I factor out of this, I'll have plus 1 over 1, if you want to think of it that way. If you don't like that negative 1 over x first in the parentheses, you can change the order. And that would be e to the 1 over x power times 1 minus 1 over x. Personally, I like this better.